It's well done.
Literally, you were saying he unchallenged for high ground, immediately got challenged, and then used the flintlock on a single build out to take it back and force the player to drop. Well played indeed. What a loadout for the late game too. Anyway, 43 players left. Next game, Europe.
42 players left.
42 players remaining. I just shouldn't say it sometimes. Looking for 41 players remaining here in a second. Someone trying to pick up another one. That was the first elimination for this player this game. By the way, quick reminder, 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. If you would like to queue in, you're in the European region, now's the time to do it. Those last couple in. This is the last week for solos to qualify to punch that ticket to New York City. Don't forget it.
And after that, there's no more solo spots. 8 more players will be advancing from Europe. We'll have 6 from NA East, 2 from NA West, and 1 coming out of Brazil. And then the solos competition will be completely rounded out. These are the final moments. Again, don't forget, we will go a little bit longer than the queue times because the average game of full Fortnite is about 26 minutes long. So need to let everyone finish up, get all of those results tallied in, because every single time it's going to come down to the last match of the server, those top point lobbies. And right now, Motor is trying to make a case to get into one of those lobbies as he's sitting in this cone looking for a peek. 42 players remaining, so again, everyone playing absurdly safe. Nobody wants to put themselves at risk, and Motor recognized that, trying to pile in on that player as Paquito and Freck get taken down, and we have our top 40, Tohaj, being taken down as well, and we're still 14 players away from the first placement threshold.
Get into the first full move circle here in a second. Circle 6 to 7, transition to the northwest. It'll be an interesting one, too. A number of players up on top of a hill. You see in the minimap there, that left side based around the supply crate on the map. Holding the edit here. Motor trying to look out and see if there's anybody that might squeak out. He's looking back immediately behind him. I don't know if he realizes the player up above has an RPG. Oh, he does now. If he didn't before, surprise, there it is. A quick attempt. And the seal off, the close off of the edit there. Quick reset, well played from whoever that is inside.
Yeah, I just saw a nightmare situation where he had pushed out right after that for the shot and just accidentally stepped in front of the heavy sniper bullet. Now you can see that storm surge turning on right there. Motor more than fine, 502 above. Might regret popping that shadow zone since had a community launchpad placed right next to him, but he's...
Oh, I don't think he regrets it anymore. Honestly, Sundown, I think he's pretty happy about how that turned out. What a shot on rotation, a quick 180 in the combat to the dome, picks up an elim. Sundown's mouth is literally sitting open. You can't believe what he saw. That was ridiculous.
But one thing that players might not be aware of, he bunny hopped right there to get maximum distance. So what that is spamming your jump button right as you hit the ground to get a little bit of extra horizontal distance, and it carried him past the player. So he 180 and one hit him with the combat. That's what I talk about when, like, sometimes I feel like these guys are playing a different game than I am.
Oh,
yes, I know for a fact I can do all of those things.
That's not Fortnite. I don't know what that is, but that's not Fortnite. That's some craziness.
It's nuts. These guys pushing the envelope, but Mongrel, speaking of pushing the envelope, not going to pull a Mitro on the dual partner there, opens the door, gets over onto the side, and is desperately looking for every point he can. Doesn't want any interaction if he can avoid it. Will he find it? 2 HP? And he does! Motor gets taken down. 26 players remaining. Mongrel, that could have been your moment in the box. 2 HP. Erosi gets Aki. That's 2 more points going over for him. That could be huge. That could be it. And now Mongrel on the side of the zone, back up to 75 HP. What can he do with it? Will the siphon in the mats be enough? 70 materials on the side of the zone. 24 players left. Less than 5 minutes left in the queue times. If you want to go to New York City, you show up right now. And unfortunately, Mongrel is out. Let's see if he can get another queue as the rest of the match is now running. Provoked up on the high ground. You see Stompy, Martez also hanging out. Martez trying to take the high ground away, but SV Alman is up there as we hit the second placement threshold. Top 15 now.
Stompy picking up another elimination of the feed. Provoked at 3 eliminations from Fnatic here. Stompy picking up actually another one. Stompy absolutely owning the feed. Provoked trying to box up, stay alive, very edge of the zone. Takes the chance, an opportunity to pop that slurp and get a little bit of a tick. Moves forward, trying to top off the HP. Players fighting underneath him, looking for a chance to establish a base of operations on the move here. And it's going to be difficult. Does get the mini off, though. Looking for players from behind. Very common tactic here. You get into a safe area where even if it might be 3-4 meters, catches someone in the face with that combat shotgun. You look for any chance for a quick whip back, anybody moving in from the outside of the storm, because they're the ones that they're forced to move in. You can't sit out there. And so even if you have 3, 4, 5 feet ahead of them, you can look back and get a shot off and pick up an elimination. 40 seconds left on that European queue. Get in those games if you're going to try and get the last ones in. Quick edit, a peek through. Cubex gets tapped one time, very low. Now you have to remember there's a 60-second window after that damage where if storm damage maybe claims that player gets an elimination, it's going to count for provoked. Dropping in here, 8 players left. Quick swap, shot, back to back, and MQ goes down. Looking for another, players underneath on rotation. Quick edit down, a push in, finds another on the outside. One more, looks for another, gets it. Stompy gets another. 3 eliminations, the triple in the feed, and there's 3 players left. Provoke on the ultimate low ground right now. 1 mini pop, moves all the way to the edge, pops.
First
campfire down.
He's getting pressure from both sides now, and this is the top 3. Oh. Can't find the shot. It's aim. Cubex who gets it. That's 52 points. 4 provoked, and again, each one of these elims, each one of them matters more when you're in these high points lobby. Martaz on the high ground, Cubex on the low ground, 39 to 49 points. Martaz wants to close this out. 27 builds to the 0 of Cubex, and that's going to be it. Martaz closes that one out. 43 points so far. Queue times are closed. The last matches will be coming in, but for now, we're going to throw it back on over to Courage, who's in the studio.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yes, that is it for the queues out in Europe. You see how dramatic it can be in these final moments. We still have more games to bring you. We want to make sure you get caught up to speed on those exact last matches, but I know, Zeke, we've had some things you were taking a look at that you want to show everyone at home.
Yeah, man, let's do this. We've got some cool clips as we make our way into the station. Just some really fun clips that I wanted to take a moment to talk about. Wolfsies, of course, just had a dope flick shot. Look at that, over on Violin, and just absolutely incredible. This is the level of skill. And I just want to highlight his rifling skills and just the way he approaches this fight. He knows the players down below, no builds, and you can just see he's using that brick floor, just ducking behind, making sure it's absorbing as much damage as possible. Airwalks. This is someone for me that I truly believe and I want to see go to the World Cup Finals, especially with the last opportunity. Him and his duo partner Nikov have already qualified in duos, right? We even know his other teammates, Kinsar and Hunter, have also qualified. The difference is that Kinsar right now is the only member from Solary that is qualified for the solo format, and Airwalks is looking to do the same. We're going to watch this incredible spree. Just look at the way he's navigating all this density, right? His game sense and his awareness is on point. He's going to pick up 8 elimination total in this run. Now, unfortunately, he does not end up getting the Victory Royale, but just look at this. He's unbelievable. Once he gets going, it's very difficult for him, for anyone to stop him. Now, we're going to see his untimely demise here. He is going to go and try and challenge a player. He's going to pick them off, and he does get traded back out. Now, keep in mind, though, he did make top 5, so he still got the points from that. Now, Tolecito, we saw this incredible play. I thought this was incredible because he used the Flintlock to shut down Mexi up on the high ground. And then just look at the HP from everyone else. He has HP advantage. He's so confident. He's just going to dive down and try and go for the challenge. Even if the player had traded out, he would have been in a pretty good state either way. So it was a pretty good game for these players. I mean, it's finals day. You know everyone's showing up big, making plays.
Insane right there. To have the confidence to drop on down, redeploy. But, guys, I'm not going to hold this up. We've got our final games from the European region. Who will make it to the Fortnite World Cup Finals?
Done. We are in Europe. 8 spots up for grabs for the Fortnite World Cup Final. This is your last opportunity. If you are one of the best, you need to prove it right now, or you will not be on that stage. You won't be playing with Tfue, with X2 Jordan, with Stompy, and 6J trying to make a case for being there as he picks up Zegrin and then gets on his rotation.
Absolutely ridiculous. Between games there, while everybody was watching the quick replay analysis, Sundown and I were talking about the different regions and just how certain aspects of each region stand out, and I think it's unanimous agreement that Europe has some of the best technical Fortnite and some of the most aggressive play that I think we've ever seen, and it is so much fun to talk about and so much fun to watch because these players are playing on a level that I don't think you have to imagine back in the day when Fortnite was, it was the battle royale portion was in its, early days. No one imagined the game would get to this. You can't possibly have said, oh yeah, one day we're gonna watch players, the technical skill and building and quickly editing and dropping in through floors and pushing walls and doing all these things, everything that they do. No one would have imagined it was going to come to this, the quick edits and push through Kais and picking up the first Elam. It's things like this. You could not have told me this is what Fortnite was going to evolve into. And you have to admit, whether you love or hate the game, no matter what you think about it, how things have changed and grown is fantastic to see. People are really pushing the technical skill that I think Fortnite has to offer in a way that no one could have predicted.
I mean, it's actually absurd to me, and like I said, I've been able to be a part of the process from playtesting through all of this.
You've been around since the beginning.
Yeah, I've never would have fathomed that players were doing this. I think one of the first things when I saw this, I was like, oh, it's good because you can be aggressive because you can like build at someone in your own cover. You don't just like hide behind a wall and stuff. And now it turns into, instead, these guys are building literal tunnels and mansions and skyscrapers in the span of 2 seconds. I think one of the plays we saw yesterday with the player, one by one, threw a trap down, edited a ramp, and shot all in the span of 0.2 seconds. So I'm like, all right, you're playing a different game than me. Yeah, right there. Sky taking away Yarkos' ceiling with a single shot, double replaces it, double edits down, and then pushes in the space of nearly a half second. He gets it 50, or I was about to say 57, but 60 points now as the top 15 does
literally just take over.
The player gets taken down, and Sky is creeping up into that qualification range. Again, top 8 players will go, and this is the last shot. How they earn the points: top 25 is 3, top 15 is 5, top 5 is 7, the victory royale is 10. Each Elam is 1, and Skype certainly knows that. He's been playing absurdly aggro. If he hits you, he wants to go.
You saw for just a second in there a quick attempt at maybe a heavy sniper shot, but he realized it wasn't loaded, opted back to try and push through the ramp instead. Very quick thinking on Skype's part, the swap out for the combat shotgun instead of the tac. Pretty common there, player looting inside, but Skype more focused on rotation and position, as placement points will be everything for a player that is this close to making it to New York City.
That was so good by him to go around the back side of that building so he could extend the shadow bomb timer up to now get up to the mid tarp. You have Light up on the high ground, 13 up Nay, now just dropping down on the tarp below Skite. So Skite is on secondary high, but he's boxed up right now. Light's gonna begin to work top down as we still have a number of ballers who are going to begin to get shot out as we head towards the second placement threshold. Kinzo gets taken down there, and Light continues to rain shots down onto these ballers, saying, hey, you gotta play Fortnite with the rest of us. Burn your mask, get out of there. Top 15 is on the board. John22 on Twitch picks up Calzo. Uno OG goes down, and Light continues to check his top, make sure he's safe, and then rain shots down. Dalo gets taken out as we get closer and closer to the top 10.
12 players remaining. Light still ultimate high ground. Skype right underneath, and I believe I saw for a moment Benji Fishy was in this game, but it looks like he's been eliminated at this point. Kaizen on the ultimate low ground, going to have to take an opportunity to heal up if possible. 9 players left, and Light is looking for a peak shot on a player in rotation, trying to challenge potentially the high ground. The pyramid of the play underneath kind of signals to me maybe not pushing up just yet, and I think Light realizes that, taking a chance to look down at maybe other players in the move, and yeah, he sees another one. There's a scent of potentially elimination. Light getting challenged for high ground now.
It's Rapti. Rapti's going for it and then drops back down, realizing he's not going to be able to take it. Pops the shadow form and goes all the way down to the far side. We're nearing the top 5. Now, one thing to keep an eye on, look at the points next to the names. 56 on Light, 64 on Skype. This is for a trip to New York City, as Light is able to pick up 59 there. They want everything they can. 6 Shades gets Rapti, but Skype trades it right back out and loops back into the zone. Skype on the edge of the mountain tries to find the jump pad, and he gets it going to the sky. Light trades out Miles on the top, so now 60 to 67 points, but Skype on 55 HP. Light pops the shadow bomb. What's he gonna do? Opts to drop down, so now Skype has to know he's down there. Skype has no mobility. Storm ticks it over. Light gets the Elam credit as well, and that's gonna push him up to 64 as well, so evens it up. We're getting down to the final moment.
Depending on where this was in their games played, we're looking at 64 and 67 players for Light and Skype respectively. That potentially could have been a prevention for Skype to make it to New York City.